mystery for the Fever rookie.
They say records are made to be broken, but apparently no one told Caitlin Clark she had to shatter 62 of them in her rookie season. Scoring titles? Check. Assists? Absolutely. Franchise benchmarks for the Indiana Fever? She blew past those. League-wide milestones that once seemed untouchable? Caitlin didn't just break them, she rewrote the rulebook. When she stepped onto the WNBA court, she didn't ease in. She arrived like a lightning strike and flipped the entire league on its head. But here's the real question. What exactly are those 62 records, and how on earth did she pull it off? Let's set the scene. A packed arena, thousands of fans on EA. Their feet, hearts pounding. The clock's ticking down, and Caitlin Clark, with her trademark poise, skips the shot and makes the perfect dish. Her 19th assist of the night. The crowd erupts. Teammates charge her like she just hit the game winner. Why? Because that wasn't just another pass, it was a record. No player, rookie, or veteran had ever dropped 19 assists in a single WNBA game, until Clark did it. And that's just one of 62. From buzzer-beating threes launched from way beyond the arc to no-look passes that leave defenders frozen, Clark's debut season wasn't just impressive, it was historic. She wasn't here to blend in. She came to dominate, to redefine, to electrify. Expectations? Sure, they were high. But Caitlin didn't just rise to the occasion. She demolished the bar entirely. Every game became a must-watch moment. Every stat line a piece of history in the making. Before we dive into the jaw-dropping list of records she set, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what comes next. Because this is only the beginning.
She's playing really well. She's shooting the hell out of the ball. And she's making sure she's finding those open players. She had some amazing assists tonight.
Caitlin Clark's debut season wasn't just a breakout. It was a rewrite of everything we thought possible. She didn't just raise the bar. She set fire to the old one and built a new standard entirely. Remember that jaw-dropping 19 assist game? As incredible as it was, her scoring feats might have been even more mind-bending. So, how many 30-point games does it take to etch your name into franchise history? For Caitlin Clark, the answer was more than anyone had ever dared to imagine. From the very first tip-off, Clark sent a message. She wasn't here to participate. She was here to take over. In a league stacked with elite-level talent, her scoring ability didn't just shine, it blazed like a spotlight you couldn't look away from. She hit the 100-point milestone in just 8 games, faster than any rookie in WNBA history. And that wasn't a fluke. It was a warning. The kind of statement only generational talent can make. As the season unfolded, Clark's scoring became almost surreal, like watching a video game on cheat mode. Night after night, she lit up the scoreboard with a string of 30-point performances, rewriting the Indiana Fever's record books one explosive game at a time. Every time she stepped on the hardwood, fans found themselves holding their breath, not wondering if she'd do something historic, but how soon.
There's an Iverson cut over 2 screeners, then there's a pin down, then there's a chase, then there's a double contest, all to get this shot. That is not easy work, but she makes it look like slight.
Caitlin Clark's impact wasn't confined to highlight reels or jaw-dropping moments in individual games. Her brilliance was season-spanning, and her numbers told a story no one could ignore. Her scoring prowess didn't just raise eyebrows, it rewrote history. In just 10 games, Clark became the fastest player in WNBA history to rack up 150-plus points, 50-plus rebounds, and 50-plus assists. By Game 12, she had already crossed the 200-point mark while still piling on the assists. And by her 19th appearance, she eclipsed 300-plus points, 100-plus rebounds, and 100-plus assists, territory that seasoned veterans often take an entire season to reach. She wasn't just playing the game, she was bending it to her will. Clark's offensive versatility became a tactical nightmare for opposing coaches. She could score from anywhere, pulling up from deep with logo-range threes, slicing through traffic for acrobatic layups, or draining mid-range jumpers with effortless precision. Teams scrambled to slow her down, often resorting to double teams, box-and-one schemes, or shadowing her full court. But none of it seemed to matter. Even with defenders glued to her hip, Clark found ways to make plays. And here's where her greatness multiplied. Her presence elevated everyone around her. Teammates like Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Kelsey. Mitchell suddenly had cleaner looks, better spacing, and more opportunities to shine. Defenders collapsing on Clark meant someone else was left open, and she always knew exactly where to find them. As the season progressed, her three-point shooting became the stuff of legend. Step-backs, quick releases, heat checks from well beyond. The arc. Clark drilled them all, setting the rookie record for most threes in a season. Opponents could only shake their heads as she launched another dagger.
Austin had her 11th double-double of the season, and Clark hits a three.
But perhaps the most jaw-dropping moment of Caitlin Clark's rookie campaign came when she etched her name into the WNBA record books. Again. In a single game, she was responsible for a staggering 66 points, either scoring them herself or creating them through assists. That's not just dominance, that's total control. Clark wasn't simply putting up numbers, she was conducting an offensive masterclass. Every possession felt like part of a symphony, and she was the maestro, delivering dimes, sinking shots, and dictating the rhythm of the game with surgical precision. The crowd was captivated. The league, awestruck. Her fingerprints were on everything, making it clear. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a scorer. She was an engine, a visionary, and a playmaker unlike anything the league had seen. And if you're loving the ride so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We truly appreciate your time. Now, back to the action.
And to go with her, Dantas is able to slip to the mid-range to knock down a nice bunny. So she's able to not only score herself, but she's distributing the ball. But last but not least,
while Caitlin Clark's scoring stole the headlines, her real magic often unfolded the moment the ball left her fingertips. Because for Clark, brilliance wasn't just about racking up points. It was about making everyone around her better. So how many assists does it take to break a franchise record? Or better yet, a league-wide one? For Clark, it was a number so staggering it left broadcasters scrambling for words. That 19-assist game we mentioned earlier, it wasn't an outlier. It was a glimpse into the core of what made her special. By Game 12, she had already tallied 100 assists, and by Game 26, she hit 200, tying the fastest pace in league history. And these weren't just hollow stats, they changed games. Clark's passes split defenses, set up easy buckets, and turned teammates into stars. Her passing wasn't just a skill, it was a weapon, one that redefined what a rookie could bring to the floor, and one that made the Indiana Fever a constant offensive threat every night.
She knows how to lay it out on a dime. Her court vision is impeccable, and now her teammates are ready to catch the ball. They trust she's going to get it where it needs to be. But y'all, the favorite part of my game from Caitlin Clark is this behind the back pass. Come on now.
Come on.
I love it. I love it. And that wasn't just one time. She does that on a frequent and drops it right there. Perfect to Aaliyah Boston.
So let me just sprinkle in, because you mentioned AB. Two of those highlights, I believe, were a Clark-Boston connection. Those two have been the second best scoring duo in the league behind Asia Wilson and
Caitlin Clark didn't just see the court. She saw possibilities. Her vision transformed the Indiana Fever's offense into a well-oiled machine, and her teammates reaped the rewards. Take Aaliyah Boston, for example. Suddenly she was catching laser-precise passes in stride, leading to effortless finishes at the rim. Lexi Hull? Her three-point shooting surged as Clark consistently found her in rhythm, wide open beyond the arc. And then there was Kelsey Mitchell, who thrived off Clark's gravity. Whenever defenders swarmed Caitlin, Mitchell was waiting for the perfect dish, and Clark always delivered. But this wasn't just a few standout plays. Clark's influence extended far beyond isolated moments. She became the heartbeat of the team. She made WNBA history as the first rookie ever to record multiple games with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists, a rare combination of scoring and facilitating that left opposing defenses scrambling for answers. Her passing wasn't just accurate, it was intuitive, creative, even surgical. Defenders were drawn to her like magnets, only to be left a step behind as she delivered the ball exactly where it needed to go. And while the record-setting 19-assist game made headlines, it was her consistency that told the real story.
Banks at home. Clark pushing. Mitchell backdoor lays it in.
The stats alone told a story of domination, but numbers could only scratch the surface. To truly understand Caitlin Clark's brilliance, you had to see it. Her passes weren't just accurate, they were artistic. Behind-the-back dimes, no look. Assists that froze defenders in place, cross-court lasers that seemed to defy physics. These weren't occasional highlights, they became routine. A night at a Fever game meant fans weren't just watching basketball, they were watching a magician at work. Crowds began packing arenas not just to see who would win, but to catch a glimpse of what Clark would do next. Her assist totals didn't just change the scoreboard, they changed the season. The Indiana Fever, once seen as a rebuilding squad, suddenly found themselves with one of the most dynamic offenses in the league. Their offensive rating soared, and for the first time in years, Indiana was legitimately in the playoff conversation. Clark wasn't just orchestrating plays, she was elevating everyone around her. By season's end, she had set a new WNBA rookie record for the most point-assist double-doubles. But that wasn't all. In a feat that stunned the league, she shattered the single-season assist record with 337 assists, surpassing the previous record of 316 set just the year before by veteran star Alyssa Thomas. And Clark did it all in her rookie season. Her passing left coaches speechless, teammates empowered, and opponents scrambling to adjust. But just when the league thought it had seen the peak of Clark's potential, she did something that redefined expectations altogether. It was a warm summer night in Indiana. The Fever were locked in a gritty battle against the New York Liberty, one of the league's top contenders. From the opening tip, Clark played with a quiet fire, weaving through defenders, orchestrating plays with poise, and crashing the boards like a forward twice her size. No one knew it at the time, but history was unfolding right before their eyes. When the final buzzer sounded, the crowd erupted, not just because Indiana had fought valiantly, but because Caitlin Clark had become the first rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double. Let that sink in, the first ever. Her stat line, 19 points, 13 assists, and 12 rebounds. It was more than just numbers. It was the way she had controlled the game from start to finish. Whether dishing out dimes, threading needles through defenders, or skying in for crucial rebounds, she was everywhere the team needed her to be. Triple-doubles are rare. Even all-time greats sometimes go entire careers without recording one. And yet, here was Clark, still adjusting to the pro game, already rewriting what a rookie could achieve. It wasn't just a milestone. It was a statement, and she wasn't done. Not long after, Clark did it again, this time against the Los Angeles Sparks. 24 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. A second triple-double, as if to prove her first wasn't a fluke, but a new standard.
It's up, it won't go, Clark pulls it down, and this building knows what that means.
Caitlin Clark's sheer versatility didn't just influence the Indiana Fever's strategy, it revolutionized it. With a player capable of scoring, facilitating, and rebounding at an elite level, the team wasn't just fielding a rookie, they had a Swiss Army knife on the court, one they could deploy in virtually any scenario. Offenses had to adapt, defenses had to guess. And most of the time, they guessed wrong. Opposing teams found themselves in a constant state of adjustment, unsure how to guard a player who could beat them in so many different ways. Sag off, and she'd hit a deep three. Press up, and she'd thread a no-look dime. Box her out, and she'd still find a way to snag the rebound and push the tempo. As the season wore on, Clark's all-around dominance didn't just become expected, it became routine. Her ability to consistently fill every column on the stat sheet had fans, analysts, and former players scrambling for comparisons. Was she the next triple-double machine? A floor general with the instincts of a seasoned forward? Or was she crafting an entirely new archetype, something the WNBA had never truly seen? The impact of Clark's game extended far beyond final scores. Her triple-doubles and near misses became must-see television, captivating both die-hard fans and casual viewers. Social media buzzed with every jaw-dropping pass, every logo three, every stat line that looked more like a video game than reality. Clark wasn't just changing games, she was changing the conversation.
Clark passes, guess who? Diana Taurasi. Reality's coming. She's reality.
By the end of the season, Caitlin Clark's numbers didn't just tell a story, they screamed it from the rafters. Her rookie campaign was nothing short of legendary. She averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game, a stat line so elite it would be impressive for a seasoned veteran, let alone a first-year player adjusting to the speed and physicality of the WNBA. To put those numbers in perspective, Clark wasn't just competing, she was leading. She finished the season first in the league in assists and three-pointers made, while also ranking among the top scorers across the board. Her passing put her in the upper echelon of playmakers, her scoring placed her among the league's elite shot creators, and her rebounding was shockingly strong for a guard, showcasing her hustle and fearlessness in the paint. These weren't just rookie milestones, these were league-wide benchmarks. Clark's performance didn't just set her apart from her draft class, it launched her into the same conversations as the game's biggest stars. Suddenly, names that had dominated for years, household legends, found themselves sharing headlines, with a 22-year-old rookie from Iowa who had taken the WNBA by storm. And as Clark's star rose, so did the hopes of an entire franchise. The Indiana Fever had been trapped in a cycle of rebuilding and heartbreak since 2016, far removed from the golden era of Tamika Catchings. They hadn't sniffed the playoffs in nearly a decade. But what happens when you inject generational talent into a team starved for success? The answer unfolded in real time. From the moment Caitlin Clark laced up for her first game, the energy shifted. The Fever, once buried in irrelevance, were suddenly everywhere. Every game was a headline. Every possession, a potential highlight. Fans who had drifted away from the franchise returned, jerseys in hand, seats filled, hearts hopeful. The Caitlin Clark effect wasn't just hype, it was tangible, measurable, and electric. What used to be routine blowout losses transformed into gritty, high-stakes battles. And then, wins. Close games began tipping Indiana's way, thanks in no small part to Clark's ability to command attention on every possession. Whether she was knocking down threes from the logo, slicing through defenders for crafty layups, or setting up teammates with no-look dimes, Clark kept defenses guessing, and fans glued to their screens. But her impact wasn't confined to the court.
To me, the numbers bear it out. They've been on terrific tears since the All-Star break, but it also looks like they're playing with joy.
When the dust finally settled on the regular season, the Indiana Fever had done the unthinkable. A 2020 record might not raise eyebrows in some circles, but for a franchise that had scraped together just 5 wins 2 years prior, it was nothing, short of miraculous. And it wasn't just a flash in the pan. This remarkable turnaround was enough to break their 7-year postseason drought and secure a coveted playoff spot, something fans had only dreamed of for nearly a decade. But Clark's freshman season wasn't just about wins and losses, it was a cultural shift. Her arrival didn't just signal a new chapter for the Fever, it ushered in a new era for women's basketball as a whole. Caitlin Clark wasn't just playing the game, she was redefining it. Her rise marked a turning point in how young female athletes are perceived and celebrated in professional sports. Consider the numbers, jersey sales skyrocketed. Her electrifying highlights became viral sensations on social media, captivating fans around the world. To put it into perspective, in 2023, the Fever averaged just over 4,000 fans per home game. Fast forward to 2024, and that number exploded to nearly 17,000 per game. The demand was so high that opposing teams had to book bigger arenas just to accommodate the swelling crowds. The Fever weren't just winning games, they were winning the hearts of fans across Indiana and beyond. And Clark's influence didn't stop there. Her impact reverberated throughout the entire WNBA. Television ratings for Fever games skyrocketed, and the league saw a dramatic surge in overall interest. Young girls across the country picked up basketballs, their dreams now fueled by one name, Caitlin Clark. She became the role model, the inspiration, the trailblazer for the next generation. Clark's debut season was more than just impressive. It was historic. She shattered 62 records, a testament to her jaw-dropping ability and relentless drive. With her league-leading assists and game-changing triple-doubles, Clark made an undeniable case for MVP. Her stats were sensational, but what truly set her apart was the way she played the game, flawlessly blending artistry with athleticism. However, Clark's impact was never just about individual accolades. She transformed the Indiana Fever from a team fighting for relevance to legitimate playoff contenders. Her leadership on the court elevated her teammates, turning the Fever into one of the most dynamic and exciting offenses in the league. But the ripple effect went beyond the hardwood. Off the court, Clark's influence was equally profound. Record-breaking jersey sales, an uptick in attendance, and a wave of media attention brought the WNBA into the national spotlight like never before. It wasn't just about basketball anymore, it was about a movement. Caitlin Clark didn't just change the game, she rewrote the entire narrative of women's sports. Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest news. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.